Seoul, South Korea, 6 government employees gather at their office to prepare for a late-night patrol. Their mission is as simple as it is counterintuitive: to find students who are studying after 10 p.m. and stop them. This article was reported in Time magazine in 2011. South Korea is forced to do these raids on private tutoring sessions to prevent students from overstudying. The students engage in such activities because to get into a top university, high test scores are required, which will eventually lead to professional success. This is so ingrained in their culture that students will go to any length to do so. And although these practices seem unreasonable to us, and the South Korean educational system is not perfect, it has definitely paid off. Jessica Shepard of The Guardian reports the 2010 standings for highest math, reading, and science scores by country. Well, South Korea ranks first in both math and reading and is third in science. Where's the U.S. on the list? 14th in reading, 25th in math, and 17th in science. I'd say those are pretty poor scores for the best country on earth. If America wants to become a world leader in education, then reform must take place. Something needs to change in our system, and it starts at the state level. We need to transform our thinking into students come first. In our little corner of the world, Boise Superintendent Tom Luna and Governor Butch Otter attempted to put students first and change our education system for the better. So I will first start with the problems within our education system, why we need to fix them, what is causing the mediocre test scores and results, and then I will go on to solutions that we can do as a state and a country that have worked elsewhere. So class is about to start, so let's get ready for our first lesson on why our education system is harming our future. The problem with our education system is that test scores are low compared to internationally, and graduation rates are low, but no one's willing to do anything about it. If the United States continues to lag in education, the future is going to be a little less innovative and a little less productive. Sean Kavanaugh of EducationWeek.org writes that an uneducated future will foreshadow economic challenges if it does not improve the skills of our future workforce. President Obama made a comment in the same article that if we want a serious economy, we need to get serious about education, and that starts with reform. Passing education reform is important because we need more people who are career-ready and oriented, and without it, our future as a country is really unknown. So let's first take a look at Idaho's graduation rate. America's Health Ranking shows Idaho's graduation rate in 2011 and for the past 12 years. As you can see, it's remained on constant about 75%. From this, Idaho ranked 17th in the U.S. in 2011. In 2001, you can see where the blue is. That's the implementation of No Child Left Behind Act. And although small, there is a slight increase from about 77% to 80%. President Bush put into No Child Left Behind Act in 2001. Many states approved this reform, and many states rejected it. As you can see, Idaho's graduation rate increased because of this reform, but compared to a state like Utah, which rejected the reform, their rank was 4th, and in 2011, they fell to 33rd. The cause of all these inadequate rankings is that as Americans, we don't know how to fix the problem, so we're truly unwilling to do anything about it. So why has the growth been stagnant for 12 years? It's probably because we haven't been able to pass any education reform. According to the Idaho Education Association, many reforms have been introduced to the legislature. For example, in 2003, many reforms had details like taking away retirement benefits, cut collective bargaining, and increasing class size. However, all got defeated. By not passing reforms in 2003 and now in 2012, we're dooming ourselves for another 12 years of deficient rankings and second-ranked students. So now that we have gone over all the problems within our education system and what is causing them, I will explain what we can do to fix it. A possible solution to fixing our education system is reform. We're all progressive reforms to get our education system where it needs to be. Prop 1 pertains to labor relations as described in stateimpact.com. Its main point was labor unions as well as annual evaluation based off student performance. Prop 2 dealt with pay per performance. This means giving bonuses to teachers and administrators for top-ranked test scores. And Prop 3 proposed advanced technology such as laptops and online classes. And I'll go into the details about the advantages of these propositions a little bit more, but first I'm going to talk about what it's going to take to achieve the policy success. We need to be more open to change and take a plunge into the unfamiliar. According to a conversation with Jeb Bush, the former governor of Florida, on educationnext.org, the only way to reach educational goals is to be bold. Bush made it his goal to get Florida to the top of the education system. He managed to pass a significant amount of reforms during his term, and by being bold, he made progress. Florida was the first state to start grading on an A through F basis. It revamped the teacher certification process and gave teachers bonuses per performance, and these helped Florida dramatically change the educational system. If Idaho was willing to be a little bit more bold, then we would be seeing improvements as well. And although these Luna laws did not pass, it can almost be guaranteed that something similar is probably going to show up on our ballots again. So I will discuss the advantages of these propositions, so when it does roll around in the future, you will have the opportunity to be a part of the change. I will start by discussing Proposition 3. By advancing technology in the classroom, it will increase students' ability to learn. On benefits of technology on education.com explains that with advanced technology in the classroom, the opportunities are endless. The curricula can be customized to the learning style of each student. Parents can be more involved, and the education systems are no longer restrained in the schools. Proposition 2 will increase student performance because teachers will have incentive to ensure each student is ready to go on to the next grade level. President Obama's Race to the Top provided $4.3 billion to encourage pay per performance. In Portland, Maine, they implemented this system and started a learning-based salary program described by NEA.org. They wanted to recognize teachers of excellence as well as ensure that the high-quality educators stay within the schools. And alas, Prop 1 wanted to change their perspective on the labor unions. There is a bitter relationship between the labor unions, administrators, and the general public. But if we can reform it to where the mindset is a little different, then the relationship between the two will start being more successful than harmful. According to educationnext.com, Finland has one of the highest success rate, but it also has some of the strongest teacher unions. Their strategy, make education the most high-profile wanted job in America, or in Finland. This creates better training, higher salary, and less grievances from the teachers. The unions in Finland have always been first for education reform. Unlike in the United States, where the unions started out of spite and have shaped our education system since they started in the 40s. If we can start by changing our viewpoint on labor unions, and then work together, we can reach the potential the American education system has. You've seen the problems with our education system, why it's important, why it's being caused, and you've listened to possible solutions that have worked for many other people. So why not Idaho? Why not try reform for the better? Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful tool which you can use to change the world. We need to be open to change, and we need to accept the mindset that we have now is just not working. We need to vote for reform, and we need to learn from our mistakes, but most importantly, we need to start voting for our children's future.